Hey there. It's me, Colred. Just Colred. No content creator collaboration today. No visiting nephew Ollie, whose bonkers shard pulling luck is the envy of us all. Nope, it's just me and you and my endgame free-to-play Raid Shadow Legends account hanging out. I've got a little bit of a treat for you today. I am going to show you what I did in-game today. I don't mean in general, I mean specifically. This is what I spent my time doing today in-game. I'm going to theory craft a couple of teams for you. I'm going to build some teams, going to talk about some of my champions that I've acquired recently, and maybe my thought process will illuminate something for you in the game and help you with your account as well. Or maybe they'll just be entertaining, especially if I flail, because as we all know, there's a lot of failure on the road to free-to-play success. Hopefully today, more success than failure. I am Colred. This is Colred Plays Raid Shadow Legends. Let's get started. Before I even played Raid Shadow Legends today, I played some King Arthur. Now, you may have missed it, but earlier today, I released my very first sponsored video ever for my channel for the game King Arthur Legends Rise. Now, this is exciting to me because I would like to be a full-time content creator, and sponsorships are one of the important revenue streams for content creators. But I've never done this before, and I would like to do my job well, so I'm going to ask you to help me out. Please go watch my sponsored video, even if you're not particularly interested in the game, because I would like your feedback on that video. I will include a link to that video in the description below. I have 3 questions for you. Basically, the first is, what do you think of the video? How did I do? Did I give you enough information so that you could make a determination about whether or not you were interested in playing King Arthur or not? The second is, my relationship with you is very important to me. I try to be honest and forthright in all of my videos. The client is paying for the sponsorship, and I want to do a good job for them, but I also want to make sure that you feel like I'm still being the same genuine Colred that you watch in the raid videos. So let me know about that. Do you think, like, was I overhyping it? Was I underhyping it? I was trying to be objective. I have been having fun playing this game, but I've only been playing for about 5 days, so I don't really know that much about the game, and I was just trying to share my first gameplay impressions, and I hope I did that well, but maybe you could let me know what you think. And then the third question I have is, when you watch other sponsored videos, is there something that other content creators have done that you liked that maybe I could have done in the video to improve it? And I'm not just looking for things that would, like, make you more likely to click the download link. I'm looking for things that would make you feel like I've done a good job for you, the viewer. Did I give you the right information? Did I show you what you needed to see? Whatever it happens to be. Now, you can give me that feedback right here in the comment section. You could give it to me in the comment section of the sponsored video. That would be perfect. Or you can come and find me in my Discord server. We have a channel up right now because a bunch of us from the Colred Plays Discord community have started a clan, and we're playing King Arthur Legends Rise together. I will be playing for the rest of the month, and I will do more videos on King Arthur, so you'll see more sponsored videos. And if you'd like to join us, you should. We're having fun. But anyway, okay, so that's enough about King Arthur Legends Rise. Thank you so much for helping me out. Now, after I played King Arthur, I jumped into Raid, and so we're going to do that right now so you can see what I did today in Raid. I did not buy anything because I'm free to play, so I didn't click any of those pop-ups. Now, today was a little bit of a down day. I am pursuing the current fusion for Stock the Broken. Let me see how I'm doing on fragments. I've got 45 fragments here, and so I don't think I've missed any fragments yet. I don't think so. Now, there is this lull in the middle of this fusion. As you can see, we have the Champion Chase Tournament, but that's done, basically. Everybody's probably pulled the shards that they're going to pull already. I'm sitting in 10th place here. And so I might pull a few more shards just to try to get up into, like, maybe 4th or 5th. Probably 5th. I don't think I could get into 4th. But I got the full reward track, feeling pretty good about that. The Tag Arena Tournament is ongoing, and I'll finish that off tonight. And then We've got some events. We've got the Artifact Enhancement event and the Dungeon Divers event, but neither of them end soon. This one ends in a day and 9 hours. This one ends in 2 days and 9 hours. So there's no rush for a lot of this, right? So the only thing that's really been going on is this Dungeon Divers and the Ice Golem tournament. The Ice Golem tournament started today. So I jumped into Ice Golem's Peak, and I thought to myself, I have the energy, I have the time right now. Let me see what I can do with my Ice Golem 20 team to improve the speed at which I can complete these tournaments. That's something that I've been doing periodically for like the last 6 months, is focusing more on speed, because here at Endgame, even as a free-to-play player, I can start to save a lot of time. I have the roster now to save a lot of time. So why let it take 4 hours to complete when I can complete it in an hour and a half? You know, that kind of thing. Not one run. I mean the whole tournament. You know, come on. Okay. So here in Ice Golem's Peak, I'm going to show you some of the teams that I've been building today and some of the things I've been thinking about. And we'll also talk about some of the champions that I've kind of built or rebuilt recently who factor in. So most importantly, I have picked up a bunch of new champions recently, but the one for dungeons who really matters is Newt. I had him at a 3-star blessing, and then I picked up his 6-star soul. So he is now at 6 stars. And by the way, I know that he is a max HP hitter, and that is capped. Prior to getting the 6-star soul, I was not capping his damage. All right, he was speed tuned for some stuff, and he wasn't maxed out on damage. Now he likely is capping the damage. I haven't done the actual math yet to see what I could drop off of him, but I'm excited about this because that 6-star blessing, right, gets me a lot. So going from 3 to 6 stars, I got 38% additional crit damage, another 1,000 HP as well, which isn't bad. 75 resistance, 75 accuracy is actually important. So is the 15 speed here. And then I did change his blessing over to Soul Reap, and this has a target HP threshold of 20%. So whatever the boss is that he's hitting, if he gets it to 20%, the Reaper will come in and then do another hit. Sometimes that hit kills the boss, sometimes it doesn't, kind of depends. So as you can see, I've kind of reorganized Newt a little bit. Now this did break some of my speed tunes. I still have to rebuild him, I think. But I'm pretty happy with where he is right now. Just for the time being, right? A little bit over 5,000 defense, 261 speed, 300 crit damage on the nose, 565 accuracy. I could potentially back off of this accuracy quite a bit. I could potentially back off of some of the crit damage a little bit, and I could maybe get some of these gear pieces onto other champions who could use it. Like this piece is a really nice piece here. You know, but again, it's not like world-breaking gear. All right, this is just pretty good stuff for Newt, and I'm pretty happy where he is. I would like more HP on him. That's something I would really like on him. I would love to get this HP up to like 65 or 70,000, and I might be able to do that if I backed off the accuracy and the crit damage a little bit, as long as I'm still hitting that max HP hit. I want to get the 10% cap, and if I'm not hitting that 10% cap, then it all goes into damage, right? That's the thing that I really need. But I don't think I need this accuracy at this high level. Even for Centranos, I don't think I need it. So yeah, I could potentially back off of that accuracy a little bit. So anyway, this was one of the major adjustments that happened. Now, another thing that happened not too long ago, it's actually a few months ago now, is I kind of rebuilt Artak. I made him a little bit faster, but I also lost a little bit of resistance and some survivability here. So what happened is he stopped being able to solo Ice Golem. He was soloing Ice Golem for me. He was also soloing Dragon, which he can still do, but it's not 100% anymore, which is kind of annoying. He fails like maybe 5% of the time. He used to be 100%. So I may have to rebuild him at some point in the near future, but that wasn't the goal today. I wasn't trying to rebuild anybody today. I was trying to take the champions that I currently have and improve what I was doing in Ice Golem. So I just wanted to look at those two champions. If we need to look at anybody else, oh, we do need to look at one other person, which is Freya. I didn't really have a place for Freya. Like I haven't figured out where to use her yet. But as you can see, these are her stats: 61,000 HP, over 5k defense, 245 speed. She does have 100% crit rate, but not a ton of crit damage. She has okay resistance at 263. That's not really enough for anything. And then 431 accuracy, which is enough for all of the hard mode dungeons. I don't know what to do with her yet. If you have an idea on my Freya, please let me know in the comments below, and we'll see what we can do. But so she was just kind of put into this gear as a placeholder. That is not my finished Freya. Oh, I forgot to look at her. So I've got her in Chainbreaker, for the stun removal, the fear removal, stuff like that. And then as far as masteries, I do have her in support and offense. Now, I know a lot of people will say, you want her in the counterattacks on the A1 for the provoke. This is, again, just sort of my initial build. I had something in mind, but honestly, with the holidays, I don't remember exactly what I had in mind. But I do think, I might want her in boss fights, so that's what I put her in War Master. Anyway, so that's where we stand right now. I've also heard she hits pretty hard, so that's why I built her with a 100% crit rate. Okay, so those are sort of the champions that you need to know. Okay, so here we are in stage 20. I farm stage 20 of Ice Golem for tournaments. It's just the fastest, most efficient place. I rarely farm hard mode. I do have hard mode all the way up to 10. I do have a 100% team. It takes I want to say it takes about 2 minutes, somewhere around there, maybe even a little bit longer. It's an okay team, but I was hoping to speed this up. Now, I used to be able to use my RTAC. Right? So Artak could solo this, but he can no longer solo this. So I was looking for a duo. My typical duo is my Cardiel. You can see he's got 6-star blessing there. I bought every single star, by the way. And I'm sure that this duo would do fine. But one of the things about Cardiel is that he's got extra animations. Like his animations are long, and the ally attack is an extra animation that you have to go through. And so even though he's pretty good in terms of turn attack tournaments, for regular tournaments when you're just trying to get the clock down as low as possible, he's a little bit slower than some other options. So I thought, what if I brought in Freya? Now, Freya I thought about a bunch of other champions. I did think about, what about somebody who could bring in a weaken or decreased defense? What about another damage dealer? I've tried some other combos. This combo worked pretty well. But I don't think it had 100% success rate. So one of the things that I was thinking about was we want strong affinity champions to clear waves really fast, but we also have to worry about getting hit by the boss, nuke. So Freya gives a little bit more defense. She gives a shield. She gives a block debuffs buff. She has a cleanse, and she still has that AoE on her A1 to help with the waves. And remember, I said I heard that she hits decently hard. The other nice thing potentially about this, if it works, is that I can put food in with these guys, and I don't really have to have an AI programmed team, right? I could just plug them in. Got a nice aura here of ally defense in all battles, which is going to make Artak even more survivable. So I'm just going to fire this off and show you what happened. Let me go ahead and shrink myself down a little bit so I'm out of the way. All right, so let's just go ahead and watch this. Now, I was a little bit surprised at how well this did because Freya is weak affinity, right? But one of the nice things about having a weak affinity champion, especially a tanky one, is she becomes the target, right? So she's going to take all the hits. She's going to take the hits from the wave. She's going to take the hits from the ads. And as a result, Artak is never really going to be in danger. So at first I was like, what about the damage? Her damage is going to drop off, but Artak's bringing enough damage. She does a decent amount of damage for a weak affinity champion here who's just a support, but really she just becomes kind of like a Spiderling tank. She becomes the Ice Golem tank, and that means Artak is free to do his stuff. Now remember that Artak puts out a decrease attack, so we also have that. We have the shield up. Shield doesn't care about affinity so much, and then we've got the block debuffs buff up there from Freya. So if any of you out there have Freya and Artak, you have a really nice duo. And my guess is that this duo could work to a pretty high level. Maybe, even stage 6 of hard mode. I don't know about above that. And it seems like it's 100%. This is actually the lowest I've seen Freya get. So she's been taking some extra crits here. But you can see how big that shield is. And it's not going to take too long. I think it's probably going to run somewhere just under 2 minutes, if I remember correctly. I only did it a couple of times. But that decrease attack is really valuable. And then you can see that cleanse removes the decrease defenses, and also if you ever get the healing reduction, cleanses that. And yeah, and she just stays alive. She does a decent amount of damage. We'll see your damage numbers at the end. So closing in on 2 minutes. There we go. Minute 49, not too bad. And as you can see there, she did a third of the damage of Artak, more than a third of the damage that Artak did. And he's strong affinity, she's weak affinity. But she doesn't hit hard enough that she actually is like threatening to activate the boss's nuke that much, even with the 5-star blessing. So yeah, this turned out to be a really nice duo. Now, a minute 49 for a duo allows me to put in some food there. There's no champion training going on right now. So I was like, well, I don't really need this for right now, but this will be nice in the future. And again, the best thing about it is I don't have to program the AI. I can just literally throw in food there and get it done. But now I was thinking, okay, for this particular one where there's no champion training, let me see how fast I can get with a team. So anytime you're thinking speed runs in dungeon, you're thinking about a Seer composition. Now, my Seer recently got to 6 stars. Again, I bought that 6 stars as well. I'm pretty sure I bought that 6 stars as well. Yeah. And we want a reset champion. We want a setup champion. So typically here for my account, my 3 champions that I'm going to put in, like, or the 2 that go with Seer are Lydia, if I can find her. And then I need a reset champion, which means Renegade, because I don't have a better reset champion. Okay. So now I have to think about, like, who am I going to bring with this? Well, obviously we were talking about Newt. Newt is the boss killer. And if the ads are down, Newt can just hit that boss and crush him. So this could potentially be the fastest team that I could bring in, would be some kind of combo of this. But then the question is, who goes in that 5th spot? Now, I tried Mithrala. Mithrala was pretty good in that spot. She gives you more buffs. She gives you a cleanse on the boss. She gives you those additional shields, just kind of like Freya did, to create that survivability, because this team is at much greater risk of dying, right? We don't have regen and immortal going on these champions. We don't have a lot of survivability here. So that was a risk. So I did run Mithrala, and she's good. She's good. But I thought, why not bring in another cooldown reduction champion who can maybe work with my Renegade a little bit and get me through some of the cycles a little bit faster. And so I pulled in Emic. If I can find Emic. One of the guys I thought about, by the way, was Odin, because Odin can hit the boss really hard. And I haven't actually tried him out yet, so I might do that at the end of this video. Or I might do that in another video. If you want to see an Odin video specifically about him fighting bosses and how much damage he can do, let me know that in the comments below, and I'll try to put that video out later this week. So I thought, all right, let's get Emic in here. So he has a 1-turn cooldown reduction. So he can cooldown reduce, and then Renegade could reduce his cooldown reduction, and you actually get them kind of feeding off of each other. It's not as good as like 2 Yumikos, obviously, but it's going to let me get back around to my abilities. But here's the thing. You have to time out the abilities really precisely. So this is what I came up. I'm going to walk you through this AI so you can see what I was thinking. So first of all, the speeds matter. This was not speed tuned ahead of time. So I have to do my best with the speeds that I've got, because I'm not changing anybody's speeds for this. This is Ice Golem 20, right? Like, nobody's changing for this team. So the fastest champion is Lydia at 308. So she's going to open up with Siren's Wail, and then we're going to have Seer nuke with Karma Burn, right? So that's sort of what we need for the first wave. I think that's just Lydia and Seer more than enough. Like, we don't need any additional buffs. We don't need any additional debuffs. Those 2 are going to be enough. Now, Emic actually goes in between those 2 champions. He's running at 273, and Seer is running at 268. But what's interesting is, once Seer kills some enemies, she's going to be faster, because she has the mastery that gives her speed. She's going to pick up another 16 speed, I think, for killing enemies. So in the second round, she's going to go faster than Emic. But in the first round, he just opens with his A1, so he doesn't do anything. And then Renegade and Newt don't matter, because they're literally not going to get turns. We go to round 2. Now what we need is we need the reset, right? So we're going to have Lydia open with her nullification, right? She's still going to prioritize the Siren's Wail, because we want to still see her nuke the wave. But Emic's going to do his cooldown reduction. Seer is going to just do her A2. That puts out an AoE weaken. It also gives her crit rate buff. Then we're going to have the cooldown reduction from Renegade, and then Newt, who is the slowest champion, or I'm sorry, he's actually faster than Renegade, but he's actually going to put out his AoE weaken as well, so he's going to do a little bit of a hit there. And then It'll come back around. Lydia will do her. Actually, you know what? We could probably turn that off. I bet we could turn that off. That might be even better. So let's just not use this on the A2. And so, yeah, we'll just do that. And that's going to let us open on the A3. So we're going to get to the boss. We're going to open with that Siren's Wail. And then what we want to do is we want to make sure to get Newt's big nuke, the Blessed Bash, in at the right time. So originally what was happening is we had to wait for Seer to do her Karma Burn. And I think it takes till the third turn. So we're going to see if that's still true now that we've changed round 2 a little bit. Hopefully it doesn't mess it up. But again, like I said, failure on the road to success. So that's what it looks like. Let's go ahead and see how this works. So the first wave should be 3 hits. 1, 2, nuke. The second one, we're going to have to cycle all the way through to get the resets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But remember, Seer's going faster now. So we didn't have to wait for Emic again. Now we get another cooldown reduction there. So that's Newt's first turn. On his third turn, he's going to nuke hard. So he's going to do his weaken here. And this is what I have to wait through without really good. And now Lydia blocks the revive on the ads. And now Newt should finish it. And that's it. 41 seconds, 25 turns. You can see my best there is 31-19. I don't actually know where that team is. I don't know what team did that, but it wasn't recently. The best I've seen for this particular team was actually, I think it was like 38 seconds. So I got pretty close. But again, you know, I have to wait for those cooldown reductions. There is a little bit of variability because of the masteries, right? So some of these champions have masteries like Cycle of Magic. I think we have Cycle of Magic here. So if the Cycle of Magic, you know, reduces Karma Burn, we get there kind of a turn faster. Or sometimes that could even mess things up because if it doesn't clear out the wave or something, then we're left in a weird rotation with Newt. So there is that as well. I don't know if Newt has Cycle of Magic. I should actually look. No, it doesn't look like it. I think I was using him in... I don't know why I wouldn't put Cycle of Magic on him. I was using him in a clan boss speed tune, and I was like, oh, you don't want Cycle of Magic in a clan boss, but I don't think it actually matters for him. I could potentially put that on him and change his masteries. And I may be rebuilding Newt, you know, soon anyway, to take advantage of the extra power I got from the 6-star soul and allow me to kind of remove some of that gear and maybe get him into some different gear that either speeds him up or makes him tankier, right? Like that's sort of what we're looking to do here. Okay, so again, going back to, you know, Ice Golem's Peak, now we're doing stage 20 pretty consistently and say somewhere between like 40 and 45 seconds with this team. Now, I did think about a team that was a non-Newt team or a non-Seer team. I tried both of those. And I'll just kind of talk you through that really quickly. So one of the teams that I thought about was, let's go ahead and get some strong affinity champions in here. So, you know, we've got Thor, we've got Ninja, who can kind of set us up and get us through the waves pretty well. And then we would probably want, you know, again, maybe bring in our Cardiel for that cleanse if we need it, sort of the ally attack as well. But here's the thing. You still need Lydia. I still need Lydia. Maybe you don't. I still need Lydia. Because if the ads for the boss revive even at stage 20, this boss is strong enough to kill most of these champions. So once I determined that I really need Lydia, then it just made more sense to just go with the Seer comp. I was thinking about a Phoenix team. So I was thinking about this, especially with the ally attacks, you could do something like this. But now I don't know that this team, is going to be any faster. I might mess around with it. You know, at some point, I could speed it up or I could go with the increased attack, probably the increased attack. But Phoenix only kills one of the ads, which means you're going to get hit by the boss pretty hard with the other ad. He ignores 50% defense for each ad that's up. So I was like, you know what? I really like this team down here. And so I think I'm going to stick with them. Let's run them one more time. just to enjoy it. So that's what I did today. I did King Arthur Legends Rise video, and then I messed around theory crafting some teams for Ice Golem tournaments, including a new duo that I'm pretty excited about. So next time the Ice Golem tournament comes around and there's champion training, I'll have a nice duo there. But again, I may yet rebuild my Artak. The thing about Artak is you need to get him in enough resistance for this dungeon, and that always feels like a waste to me. I think I might just stick with the duo. That'll give me another place to use Freya, which is pretty cool. So this time kind of unfolded a little bit differently. But again, Lydia blocks that revive. That's so key there. She only has to do it once, really, because Newt just ends the fight right here. 43 seconds. Feels good. Love my new Newt. He's so good. He's so good. All right, that is it for me today. Let me know in the comments below. Did you like this kind of video? Was it fun to see my thought process or hear my thought process? Or are you like, you know what? Let's stick to dungeon guides and shard pull videos because you know that we enjoy those. Also, please help me out with the King Arthur sponsorship video. I'd really like to know your thoughts. So yeah, comments here, comments there, Discord. Thank you. I have been Colred. Thanks for hanging out. I will see you in another video soon.